Have you ever wondered why some people remain lucid at 90, while others start forgetting the names of family members at 65? Is there an ancient secret, something simple and natural, that has been forgotten over time, but that can protect our memory and reasoning until the end of our lives? The mistake many people make is to replace natural remedies with chemical pills, unaware that our grandmothers already knew a powerful solution for keeping the brain healthy. Have you noticed that your memory is not the same as it was a few years ago? Is it increasingly difficult to remember where you left your keys or the name of that acquaintance you met on the street? Do you feel that sometimes you walk into a room and completely forget what you went there to do? I am Dr. Soffia Martin, a specialist in brain health and healthy aging. For over 20 years, I have been helping men and women over 60 maintain an active mind, a strong memory, and balanced mental well-being. In this video, I will reveal to you a forgotten tea that our grandmothers used to prepare and that is now being studied by neurologists around the world for its impressive effects on brain protection. You will discover why this tea has been forgotten over time and how it cleanses toxins from the brain, what modern science says about its neuroprotective compounds, how to prepare it correctly to maximize its benefits, and how to include it in a complete routine to prevent Alzheimer's. Share with someone who needs this information, and comment on which city or country you are watching from. I want to know how far this life-changing message will reach. From the age of 60 onwards, the brain begins to undergo natural changes. This does not mean that we are going crazy, as many jokingly say, but it is true that the speed at which we process information, the ability to remember recent details, and even the ease of learning new things can decrease. And what's most concerning, this change is usually silent. It starts slowly, almost imperceptibly. Alzheimer's is a degenerative brain disease that gradually destroys the connections between neurons, which are like the cables that connect our memories, thoughts, and emotions. At first, the impact may seem minor: a forgotten name, a confused date, a lost object. But over time, the person begins to forget faces, confuse places, lose track of time, until they reach the point of not recognizing their own children. Today, Alzheimer's affects approximately 55 million people worldwide, according to the WHO. Every 3 seconds, a new case is diagnosed. It is as if we are living through a slow and invisible pandemic that does not appear on TV news, but destroys entire families from within. And the cause of this is not just genetic, as many people believe. Factors such as poor diet, chronic stress, a sedentary lifestyle, and exposure to toxins are truly harmful to the brain. Did you know that what we put on our plates and in our cups can be as important to our brains as exercise and medication? Science has proven that certain foods have the power to protect neurons, reduce brain inflammation, and improve memory. Interestingly, many of these foods and herbs were already being used by our grandparents long before modern medicine investigated their effects. Over time, we have replaced natural infusions with pills, homemade foods with processed foods, and forgotten the power that exists in the plants that grow in the earth. Our brain is like a complex machine that constantly needs to remove toxins and waste. There is a system called the glymphatic system, which is like a brain cleaning system that works mainly during deep sleep. With aging, this system becomes less efficient, allowing the accumulation of toxic proteins such as beta amyloid and tau, which are directly related to the development of Alzheimer's. In addition, aging also reduces the production of a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which is essential for memory and learning. Think of acetylcholine as a messenger that carries messages from one neuron to another. When there are few messengers, communication is compromised and memories become more difficult to access. The blood vessels that feed the brain can also become stiffer with age, reducing the flow of blood and oxygen to brain cells. It is as if the brain is receiving less fuel to function properly. Therefore, we need solutions that work on several fronts: fighting inflammation, eliminating toxins, improving circulation, and stimulating the production of neurotransmitters. The mistake many people make is to think that minor memory lapses are simply a normal part of aging, something we must accept. This passive attitude causes us to ignore the first warning signs and miss the most important window of opportunity for prevention. Another serious mistake is to rely solely on modern pharmaceutical solutions, forgetting the ancient wisdom that already offered effective answers to many health problems. Today, I want to talk about a special herb that our grandmothers used regularly, but which has fallen into oblivion with modernization: sage, Salvia officinalis. Sage is not an exotic or rare plant. It is a simple herb with gray-green leaves and an intense aroma, used for centuries for digestive, respiratory, and, as it was later discovered, cerebral purposes. What few people know is that sage improves memory, reduces anxiety, and protects neurons from premature aging. This infusion was considered a mental tonic, and it is no coincidence the word sage comes from the Latin salvare, which means to save or heal. But over time, this tea fell into oblivion. The arrival of synthetic drugs, urbanization, and the loss of contact with the elderly led to the abandonment of natural practices, as if they were simply things of the past. Studies conducted by universities in Germany, the United Kingdom, and Italy have identified that sage contains substances called rosmarinic acid, cineol, and flavonoids, which have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective properties. These compounds act directly on the brain, reducing the damage caused by oxidative stress, one of the main culprits behind Alzheimer's and cognitive decline with age. In addition, sage helps inhibit an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase, which destroys acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter essential for memory and learning. By blocking this enzyme, sage allows acetylcholine to remain active longer in the brain, improving mental clarity, concentration, and even mood. Sounds complicated? Think of it this way. Sage acts as a natural cleanser that removes accumulated toxins, protects neurons, and strengthens the connections between them. And the most amazing thing is that its effects don't take months to appear. Some studies have shown improvements in memory and concentration within just a few hours after consuming the infusion. Now, let's get to the practical part. How to prepare sage tea correctly to ensure that its active ingredients are not lost in the process. Choose the right herb. Use dried Salvia officinalis leaves purchased from reputable health food stores or specialty pharmacies without mixtures of other herbs or flavorings. Correct amount. For 1 cup, use 1 teaspoon of dried leaves. If you are preparing for the whole day, 2 teaspoons per half liter of water are sufficient. Heat without boiling completely. Put the water on to heat, but remove it before it starts to boil completely. This way, you prevent the plant's essential oils from being lost due to excessive heat. Infusion time. Pour hot water over the sage, cover the container, and let it rest for 8 to 10 minutes. This time allows the beneficial compounds to be released efficiently. Ideal consumption. Drink 1 cup per day, preferably in the late afternoon or evening, as the tea also helps to relax the mind. Avoid drinking it on an empty stomach or immediately after heavy meals. Avoid sweetening with sugar. If necessary, use a little natural honey, but only if you have no medical restrictions. Remember, consistency is more important than quantity. Drinking it daily for weeks or months gives much better results than overdoing it in a single day. I clearly remember my first consultation with Donna Teresa, a 75-year-old lady who came to my office accompanied by her daughter. With an apprehensive look, she said to me, "Doctor, I'm afraid I have Alzheimer's. Yesterday I forgot the name of my youngest granddaughter. I'm afraid of becoming a burden to my family." Teresa did not have Alzheimer's, but she was showing the first signs of mild cognitive impairment, something common in people her age, but which can progress if not treated carefully. We started a comprehensive care plan, an anti-inflammatory diet, regular sleep, light exercise, and I included sage tea once a day, always in the late afternoon. After 8 weeks, Teresa returned to the office with a smile on her face. "Doctor, my head is clearer. I'm doing crossword puzzles again, and I remember the names of all my grandchildren without hesitation." Another striking case was that of Carlos, a 68-year-old university professor who began to notice difficulties in remembering concepts that he had previously mastered with ease. This was affecting his self-confidence and made him consider early retirement. Carlos began drinking sage tea daily and following other lifestyle recommendations. Within 3 months, not only did he regain his confidence to teach, but he also returned to writing academic articles, something he had given up because he felt mentally exhausted. These results come not only from the plant, but also from discipline, the desire to live well, and confidence in the process. Although sage is a natural plant and safe for most people, that does not mean it is suitable for everyone. As a doctor, I always advise my patients to be careful with any substance that acts on the nervous system, even natural ones. Here are some people who should not consume sage tea without medical advice. People with uncontrolled high blood pressure. Sage can alter blood pressure in some cases. If you already suffer from hypertension, only take it with your doctor's approval. Patients with epilepsy or a history of seizures. High doses of sage contain substances that can stimulate the central nervous system and cause seizures. People taking anticoagulant or sedative medications. The interaction between sage and these medications can reduce or enhance their effects, posing a health risk. People with severe kidney or liver disease. In these cases, any herb with a metabolic effect should be carefully evaluated. Pregnant and lactating women. Although it is a plant that has been used for centuries, sage contains compounds that can affect hormones. During pregnancy and breastfeeding, the priority is to protect the baby, so avoid it. Also, avoid excessive consumption. More than 1 cup a day can cause unwanted effects, such as dry mouth, stomach pain, or drowsiness. And here's an important tip. If you are already taking continuous medication, consult your doctor or pharmacist before starting to drink any tea. Natural remedies should also be respected. Sage tea alone is an excellent ally for brain health, but when combined with other healthy habits, it becomes a real strategy to protect against mental aging. Here's how you can easily and effectively include this tea in your routine. Choose a set time. I advise my patients to drink the tea at the same time every day, preferably in the afternoon or evening. This helps the body establish a rhythm and turns the moment into a ritual of mental care. Associate it with moments of calm. Avoid drinking tea if you are in a hurry or stressed. Sit down, breathe, read a book, or listen to music. The brain also benefits from peaceful environments. Don't abandon the other pillars of mental health. Tea helps, but it should be accompanied by a diet rich in vegetables, omega-3, and antioxidants. Light physical activity such as walking or dancing. Quality sleep. Regular social interactions. Talking also exercises the brain. Train your mind every day. Crossword puzzles, reading, memory games, learning something new. All of this strengthens neural connections. Practice relaxation techniques. Chronic stress is one of the biggest enemies of brain health. Meditation, deep breathing, and yoga are excellent allies. Stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can significantly affect cognitive function, especially in older people. The brain is like a garden. If you water it daily, take care of the soil, and protect it from pests, it will flourish even with age. And sage tea can be part of this care routine as a simple, effective, and accessible tool to maintain clarity, concentration, and autonomy for longer. Taking care of your brain is not just a matter of health. It is a way to preserve your identity, your memories, your stories, and your connection with loved ones. All of this depends on the mental clarity we maintain as we age. Today you learned about a simple tea, forgotten by many, but full of potential. Sage, a plant that our grandmothers used wisely and now recognized by science for its ability to clear the mind, strengthen memory, and protect against Alzheimer's. But more important than the tea is what it represents: a return to daily care, prevention, and respect for what is natural and effective. As a doctor, my advice is clear. Never wait for symptoms to appear to start taking care of your mind. Prevention is the smartest, most humane, and most powerful way to age with dignity. I am Dr. Sofia Martin, and my commitment is to help you live with greater clarity, autonomy, and well-being. If this video has been valuable to you, please like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and comment below which city or country you are watching from. I want to know how far this message is reaching and who else we can help with this knowledge. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of your body and, even better, your mind.